Graham Platner is out, the Democratic Senate candidate, suspending his campaign after allegations of sexual assault. Now Democrats in Maine try to pick up the pieces. I'm Mathieu in Washington. Kaylee has the night off. Graham Platner out with a video last evening, came around 8 p.m., 11 minutes long, freestyle. Shot with the phone, announcing he is suspending his campaign for U.S. Senate following, of course, a sexual assault allegation heard round the country, made public earlier this week. Platner has denied the allegations, continues to do so now, but local and national Democrats called for him to step aside following Monday's report, with the party now preparing for a nominating convention to find their next nominee ahead of the July 27th deadline. Joining us now, a man who knows this area of the country and politics well, Matt Robison, former Democratic campaign manager and legislative director, has worked with members of Maine's congressional delegation, in fact, throughout New England. And Matt, it's great to have you back. What's your thought on the next steps here? Obviously, Graham Platner still needs to file the paperwork, presuming that he does. How do you assemble 600 delegates and have a credible convention in less than 3 weeks?
Is really tough. I don't envy the challenge that's ahead of the Maine Democratic Party or national Democrats who have to quietly try to maneuver to get this right. It's a misnomer that the Chinese use the same word for crisis and opportunity. It's not really true, but it does sort of apply here. The fact of the matter is that Graham Platner was quietly one of the most underperforming candidates that Democrats have put forward in any competitive terrain in this cycle. And in the last few weeks, in polling averages, his advantage has slipped by about 4 or 5 points, to the point where the Maine Senate race was essentially tied even before this latest round of allegations. So Democrats are quietly, maybe not so quietly, breathing a major sigh of relief that they get to etch-a-sketch this race and start fresh. Now, that's not going to be easy to do because national Democrats desperately want to get this right, but they know they can't be seen putting a thumb on the scale here. That's like the kiss of death in Democratic Party politics these days. You see that in all the announcements from all the people who want to be nominated. They're playing up their outsider credentials, their grassroots energy and momentum. They say that they can capture the same kind of vibe that Graham Platner was capturing, which is very real on the ground in Maine. Right. So the national Democrats, they want to direct the show here. They want to try to influence things, but they can't be seen doing it.
Well, we've got an Axios report out, Matt, this evening. Platner says he's not going to file his withdrawal papers until Monday. That's the day that's the deadline for him to get out of the race and allow for another candidate. Look, he's continuing to profess his innocence. He has not apologized, actually. In fact, some were disappointed that he did not in the video. Is there any chance that he tries to revive this, stay in the race?
I can't speak for the mindset of someone like this. No. This is the kind of time where if you have people in your life that you trust in politics, they come to you and they give it to you straight. There's no path forward for him. He is not going to come out of this with any kind of a good reputation. But if he tries to hang on here, he would be such an all-time villain in American politics and Maine politics that it's not even worth talking about. I think this is much more of a power play. He's already made noises that he wants to have a role in appointing, like having an influence in who's going to succeed him here. That's why the early money in prediction markets is on a figure like Troy Jackson, the former Maine State Senate president, who is a strong Bernie Sanders supporter, has a somewhat similar echo of political profile as Graham Platner, was an ally of Platner's. Now, of course, from Democrats' standpoint, there's a little bit of a double-edged sword there, because what Republicans are definitely going to do is tar whoever the nominee is with association with Platner. So that's a little bit of a vulnerability, but that's why you see a 50% likelihood in prediction markets right now that Troy Jackson is going to emerge. Another possibility is someone like the Maine Secretary of State, Shenna Bellows, who also has very solid progressive credentials and might satisfy Platner and ease his way out of the race.
It's going to be tough for them to take the Senate without Maine, Matt. Let's stay in touch on this. Matt Robison, we thank you.